Hey everybody, it's Bust with Busted Strategies number 7. We're going to jump into another Innistrad draft. Let's jump on in. I had a very productive day of drafting today. Let's see if we can't recover it for this video. Worked on a little bit of them earlier. They weren't very interesting drafts. So it feels like I land in like Orzhov like every single draft, and I don't want every video to be just that. But it's all right. As long as we're out here having fun, that's all that matters. I'm sure you all accept Warzone Zombies videos over and over and over again. All right. This is tough. Tough to come in here and push that button. The ready button's tough to find sometimes. Two people. Come on. It's like how long do you really have to sit in the queue for you to not be able to push the ready button? Like I haven't had a queue go over 5 seconds. Hmm. Well, just gives us more wonderful opportunities to chit chat. Let's see now. Same guy, just requeuing. All right, there we go. So let's see, what do we got here? Tovolar, quite powerful, little grave titan of the format. Let's take a look if there's anything else. This is probably what will come in and take. As far as this format kind of goes, there's so much removal that I haven't felt like really required to say like take Infernal Grasp over Tovolar, because let's be real, Infernal Grasp is the best removal spell in the format. But I just don't think it's necessary. There's so many, like in black, there's Defense Straight, there's this thing that kills a 2, there's the Olivia card, there's the Sacrifice a Dude for like single black. Just so many removal spells in black that I don't think that we have to like aggressively go after cards like Infernal Grasp. So I think Tovolar is a safe enough keep. We'll see what we're able to pair this into, whether or not it's uh, if we put it into Werewolves or green black. He works fantastically with siege zombies, but I think this is fine. Okay. So I do want to keep in mind with these, seeing cards like Winterthorn Blessing show up. There's a very real possibility that this tables. Number one, because Simic isn't drafted too much, but it's tough to just be playing, multi-faction at this early stage of the draft. And so I would want to put like a little bit more value on a blue card if something good was showing up here, but it's just not the case, right? There's the Winterthorn Blessing, but then there's the Wolf is the only green card. There's no playable blue cards. I'm looking towards the Candle Trap here. You could also look to the Gavany Dawn Guard as a way to try and pick up some card draw. And here, I think I'm just going to go with oh my god, you click on a thing and it just immediately goes away. I'm going to go ahead and click on the Dawn Guard just in the sense that this is just a much higher power card than what was available in the other ones. Okay, so if we did want to think back to our previous pack and try to place some additional value on the blue cards, there is the Organ Hoarder here. I don't think that blue-green one is powerful enough to feel like we really need to worry about that kind of thing. With the cards like this, it's like I still want to place a high priority onto green, but I don't want to take Pestilent Wolf, and so I think we can continue onto this kind of Coven path and look towards the Candlegrove Witch here. Oh my gosh, look at that. I clicked on it and it didn't just auto-take it this time. It's so frustrating that it does that. I don't know if it's just my mouse or what, but I think the Witch is our take here. Don't want to be taking blue. It's too greedy. The green cards are too bad. There's no removal. There's no bombs. I think that's where we land. Okay, so some more interesting choices. Like the blue definitely appears to be open. I'm not opposed to trying to draft green blue. Organ Hoarder is a real powerful card, but it feels like I want to really just kind of like shore up our green. I'm going to come in and take Candlelit Cavalry here. That might be a mistake. I do tend to like the Eccentric Farmers a little bit more, but the Eccentric Farmer is not going to play well in green-white. The Eccentric Farmer will play well in green-black or green-blue, but not in green-white. And so that's kind of tough. Curious how the cards will shape up on their way around here, but I think the cavalry is our way to go. Kind of the other thing with the cavalry is we are, starting to. Oh, are you fucking kidding me? Oh, it's so frustrating. All right, well, I guess we got a blue card. Oh man, I didn't have it clicked on. All right. Well, it's so frustrating. It's like I want to click on it so I can like talk about it and then have it pick when the packs roll around, but it's just so easy to click on it and it automatically takes it. Uh, I don't know. Whatever. But all right, but here we want the Shadow Beast sighting. I still look at this to be the best green common. We do see a Diagraph Rebirth here, which had we taken the mulch unit would be kind of impressive. Here, I think we still can consider, especially now that we've got this random blue card in our deck that blue-green may be a thing. And so we'll keep that in mind. Oh, the Root Cruel Creepers here. We're definitely going in. This combo of the Creeper into the Shadow Beast sighting is so incredibly powerful. Playing the Creeper on 2 and then the Shadow Beast on 3. I dig it. I'm in. Okay, then so fairly weak set of cards. There is the things like Candle Trap and the Trapper, but I think at this stage I'm okay to say that we're in blue-green. So I'm just going to pick up the Tireless Hauler here. See, look, I barely touched it, and it frustrating. But the payoff is here. The payoff's here. The Root Coil Creeper is coming through. Definitely glad to see that one. Got to pass on Bird Admirer. Hope to pick up some of those at some point, but not with this pack. Okay, then the Silver Bolt is a removal spell. Perfect. Have we missed the blue green dude yet? Did someone see it rolling around and pick it up? Too bad. Too bad if that's what happened. So with these, let's be real. We're taking the white cards out. The Pestilent Wolf is fine. I don't feel like we really need to chase after a card like Consider here, whereas the Pestilent Wolf is a reasonable early game play. Hey, tabled Cavalry, nice. Look good, not a bad start. Not a bad start. The Root Coil Creepers are fantastic. I do worry that someone maybe took that and tried to jump into blue green as well. Like I would like that the thing that puts a +1/+1 on a dude and freezes a guy for a turn. But being an uncommon, there is the realistic chance they just took it because it was an uncommon, and so I don't want to read into that too much. And so yeah, the things that you're typically looking for in this kind of blue-green deck, it's like I'm okay with Delver of Secrets, don't really like it. I would like to pick up the Death Bonnet Spore, whatever that 1/1 thing is that self-mills and eventually flips. And then the Root Coil Creeper Shadow Beast sightings are the big ones, outside of not picking up the blue-green uncommons and rares. Yeah, not a bad start. Not a bad start. Bounding Wolves could be kind of interesting, like if we're trying to flip Tovolar or something. It just still gives us a play on our opponent's turn. And, oh, we're gonna have to play a mountain in here. Oh man. Let me double check on what she does. She generates 2 wolves, fine, and then until your next turn, on her +1, until your next turn, you may play creatures as though they had flash. They enter the battlefield with a bonus. So strong. Does this give us any color of mana? Oh yeah, we gotta just take the Planeswalker here. We'll want to place like a little bit higher value on Terramorphic Expanse, and then maybe even play the weird Rampant Growth with Flashback. But we can definitely support this with our Root Coil Creeper. Okay, and what a turd of a pack after that. I mean, I guess we can't complain too hard after we open a after we open a Planeswalker, but I really don't want to be playing a bunch of like off-color cards. I want this to be the only like red mana in our deck on Arlinn. And so that leaves us to either Geist Wave or Timberland Guide, and I think we just have to take the Geist Wave here. This does kind of like lack interaction within the blue-green, and so at least gives us a way to interact with our opponent. Okay, then the thing I do like in this style of deck is the flyers. We probably won't come across like that green spell that puts the +1/+1 counters on things, but I do like things like the Abomination in here. But I mean, how much wolf stuff does these things do? Cast creatures as they had. Flash, that's not wolf things. Does Tovolar do wolf things? He creates a bunch of wolves and then does the fights. So I could maybe see an argument for Bird Admirer. We're not going to play the Moonrise. Bird Admirer over the Falcon. Okay. We need. I guess we can look at ourselves as being a control decky kind of thing. We could also look to take this Dawnheart Rejuvenator as another way to get red mana out here. But it's like so much of like playing red hinges on Root Coil Creeper. It's like I start seeing all these werewolf cards show up, and I've got to kind of like stop and remember that they're not going to be as easy to play as we want. I think I'm okay to just pick up another Candlelit Cavalry here. We don't have a lot of options in otherwise. There's just actual no blue cards. This is the only green card. Seeing things like Village Watch would be nice, but I think that's going to be a trap beyond just the singular copy of Arlinn. Okay, so not opposed to keep continuing to pick up wolves, but again, it feels kind of bad as to like whether or not we should have picked up the zombie flyer before and the Gale Drifter here. I just don't think we're going to be in like the blue-green tempo deck because we don't have the blue-green gold spell. So I'm looking at just taking something like Dissipate here. Again, we just don't have any ways to interact with our opponents. So like I like something. Gotta have something. And then kind of the same deal. I'm not opposed to tapping at the windows, but we haven't seen like a whole lot of the self-mill stuff. It's tough. I mean, maybe we should have just pushed ourselves into green-red and beat the werewolves. It's so tough to pass on these Root Coil Creepers. Like this is such an incredibly powerful card paired up with the Shadow Beast sightings. Oh, Hell of the Hunt. There we go. I got to talking again. I need to make sure I pushed on something. Okay, well here's a reasonable green and to defend the Celestius. Incredibly powerful combat trick. Happy to pick that one up. Okay, and then our Bird Admirer swings it back around. Timberland Guide. Okay, yeah, I mean we have been seeing a lot of wolves and stuff, but it's tough for me to decide if we should have actually landed on red. Well, so pick up some of these cards, I guess. Immolation makes an appearance. Hex Betrayal. Okay. We'll see. Like these red cards that we picked up outside of Arlinn are very mediocre. We didn't pass on like too many of them that were bad. But I assure you, the Root Coil Creeper is actually insane if you can actually get it on the board and get rolling. But Gale Drifter swings back around. All right, well we at least have some options in that sense. But yeah, like the self-mill stuff isn't here. Look at this, we're just getting 15th pick werewolves. So, okay. It's like I want to pick the land, but I think our deck really needs some direction here. I'm going to pass on the Moonrager Slash and just take the Shadow Beast sighting. Our deck is still really good as far as the creepers are concerned, between having now 2 Shadow Beast sightings and then the Arlinn to play on turn 3. And so nothing really changes with that. The Moonrager Slash is, of course, incredibly powerful, but I think we're good with the Shadow Beast. Okay, so nothing here gives us too much pause as to far as the the green versus red debate. We're not going to play the Mentor, but I'm happy enough to pick up a Bird Admirer. Y'all know we love a good Bird Admirer here. Got to come in and block these units. Okay, and so I think this pack is probably the one that will define us the rest of the way. There's the Organ Hoarder, which is just on theme as far as the blue-green deck goes, but again, we really only have the Shadow Beast sighting as the payoff. And so I am looking towards the Unnatural Moonrise as a reasonable card with this just gigantic collection of wolves that we have at this point. So I think the Moonrise is just the higher value play here. I think it's safe to think that we will probably just switch into red-green. God, I just do not want to pass. I do not want to pass on these creepers. Now it's like I'm having like real anxiety after just passing on that dude and not playing with the root coil creepers. And here the snarling wolf is fine. Not too much otherwise. Passing on a tireless holler, but our top end at this point is fine. With the holler, the two cavalries. Don't need to take him. Okay, okay. So Hound Tamer, quite strong. Just putting the counters on creatures makes combat miserable for our opponents, and then a 3/3 for 3 is just a good deal either way. So, welcome to the squad. Okay, okay. So, more wolves. The eccentric farmers again. Okay, I'm gonna like finally accept. I'm just gonna play red green. Just the flashback cards just did not show up. We can't look at ourselves as not being a red green deck. We have the one Pax Betrayal already, so I'll pick up the combat trick and the Might of the Old Ways, and then I think we're gonna be kind of set here. Want the Infiltrator? I'm not a huge fan of the 3/2s for 3, but we're not gonna have combos with the Brimstone Vandal. Another wolf it is. We got all the wolves today. More bird admirers. Okay, okay. We're doing the wolf thing pretty reasonably now. We can just churn through this. I don't think we need to take plummets. If this was best of 3, we would want it, but let's just take the Timberland Guide. Okay, okay. I think this is starting to come together. I gotta move these root coil creepers out. You've given us a bit of struggle. I wonder how this would have turned out if we didn't pick up that intruder awkwardly in the middle of pack 1. But okay, okay, we got ourselves a start here though. I assure you, these blue-green things are incredibly powerful. The root coil creeper, it just felt so right, like getting it like 5th or 7th, like however those two of these came across to us, but didn't completely work out in the end. You can see a bit of the self-mill stuff there with the tapping at the windows. Okay, but we didn't have the payoff for that. So all right, let me make sure we don't have any more any more blue cards in here. That's fine. I'm kind of interested in playing 18 land as well. We tend to just have like plenty of stuff to do with our mana, so I want to go ahead and just tick that up 1. Not tough for us to come in and take out some of these dirtlier cards. So let's go up to 10 forests since we're starting with a big pile of early game green. I think we're going to be pretty creature heavy in here at this point. We've got 19 creatures and 10 nons. So let's go ahead and remove some of the mediocre kind of things. So we're fine with 3 5s and a 6. These are never going. The Defend the Celestius will stay. Hound Tamer is incredibly good. How do we end up with 4 Bird Admirers? Well, I know how we end up with 4. It's because I'm a huge fan of Bird Admirer, but that feels a little heavy at this point. I do want to play 1 Pax Betrayal, so let's swing back in this other direction. Harvest Tide Sentry can go. Don't need a big pile of 2s, but I want some, like 6 or 7 between 1s and 2s. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe we need to add this sentry back in. These infiltrators I don't want. That can go. Gets us to 15 creatures though. Some of these non-creatures got to go. So let's go through our non-creatures and see what are not removal spells. So Might of the Old Ways can come out. I want to keep the Unnatural Moonrise. This is probably going to make me want to put those trample wolves back in. It becomes night until end of turn. Target creature. Oh, it's target creature gets 1/0. Gains trample. Okay, I thought this gave everything trample. All right, so you're still fine to stay. Might have to take out Pax Betrayal. I do really like me an act of treason kind of effect, but I don't think that's what we'll be needing to do here. So I think we can take out 1 Candlelit Cavalry between having the 2 Shadow Beasts and Arlinn as kind of a more expensive-y kind of things. I think we'll be fine with just 1. I think I still want to stick to 18 land, though. Got us to 14 creatures. We need to add a dude back in. Kind of like looking at adding in the 2 Infiltrators and then pulling out one Bird Admirer. And I think that gets us in a pretty decent spot. So the only things we're missing in the sideboard here, the Bird Admirers, they can be okay. Like, we don't have too many Coven cards, though, right? If we're wanting to play things like Bite of the Old Ways, then Bird Admirers are quite good because they give us that one attack unit. But I don't think that's necessary here. All right, so we're playing all of our removal. Could look to cut one creature and add a spell back in. I think I kind of like that. That gets us to 14 creatures plus Arlinn. Oh, I forgot our Shadow Beast sightings are creatures as well. So yeah, let's add in, take out one creature and then add in a combat trick. We'll add in Might of the Old Ways. Hound Tamer stays. I like playing 18 land, especially since we have things like Hound Tamer. Bounding Wolf could go. I think I like that. Okay, I think I feel good with this. So let me make sure, last second, make sure there's nothing here on the sideboard we still want. The Bounding Wolves, whatever. Could look at Howl of the Hunt opposed to the combat trick. I don't think I like it, though. I'll just get surprise blocks in. Maybe, we'll try it. We have an actual shit ton of wolves. So sure, we'll add it. 2 birds, 2 harvest tides. This harvest tide was the last one I was looking at. Okay. Alrighty, I think we're ready. We're looking good here now. Okay, man. I'm gonna be sad about not being in Simic the rest of the day, but I can't tell at what point though. Like, there's two things. Like in that pack where it just took the stupid card that we didn't want because I didn't click on anything. I'm curious what would have played out. I don't remember what we would have taken there that wasn't the blue thing. If that would have just kind of like locked us into, I mean, we might have ended up in in green-white had that been the case, but that was slightly awkward. I still haven't like fully locked in being able to decide when these cards will come together. All right, so the Harvest Tide Sentry slightly awkward as far as our Planeswalker and friends are concerned, but it should be tough for them to get a Coven together playing red-green. So I think we just want to continue to play on curve. Let's add the Bird Admirer. Should shut down their attacks for a while, and then we'll just slow down on board here. Count on Arlinn to just crush through this game. Interesting. She's not gonna have haste though. Can we play anything for 2 mana? We can play Arlinn +2 her, and then oh, she does gain haste from her ability. I think I still want to +2 her and just play Timberland Guide. So let's bring it. It feels like their hand here is probably just awkward, or they have a Stalking Wolf. Their hand just has to be awkward if they're making this trade. The downside to this is that if we make this unit play, it's going to take us back to day. I think that's okay. We'll spread out our damages. Okay. Alright, well. Seeing the Moonrager Slash makes me feel a little bit better about giving her the big plus. Wouldn't have been able to kill her as a Planeswalker. Oh, he's got Arlinn as well, huh? Okay. Let's do this. Let's make the tokens. We're gonna go ahead and attack, and then we should get to defend the Celestius here. Let's make everything a little bit bigger. It'll play better into the singular wolf.
The darkness won't hide our enemies from us.
No plays? If you go in darkness, that's pretty strong. We can start attacking with Arlinn. It's in the indestructible tramples right into his Planewalker. Where did we like fall behind in this one though? It's like we both have 5 lands. We have, I guess, one of the cards is accounted for in the Defend the Celestius we just played. 2 Timberland Guides. We only have 1 extra card in our graveyard. It feels like they have a ton of cards in their hand. Okay, well, we're not gonna make the wolves here, so let's just go ahead and give the bonus.
Patience, my king.
And play our Infiltrator. And then I think we're good to just send the 2 wolves and the Infiltrator into his. That still lets us block. Actually, let's just send 2 in. Oh, you're summoning sick. You don't get the big bonuses. All right. So he gets 1 good block this way, but we get his Planeswalker and his Wolf. Probably just doesn't block with his Wolf now, since his Planeswalker is going to go down.
The hunt is over.
Oh, this thing have trample? No? Oh, we just had the flashback as well. Okay. So we're going to lose our Planeswalker. Oh, did he send that at me? So he wants to draw the card? Only deals 2 to our Planeswalker? Okay. What am I missing here? Do they just want to draw a card that bad? Huh. Interesting.
Wait for the perfect.
Well, I'm not giving up on you, Arlinn. We're putting some stuff on the board. That was strange to me. Why wouldn't they want to take her off of the board just to draw the card? Okay, so she's dying now, but our units are just so much better than theirs. Cool. That was strange. That one's kind of mind bending to me. I didn't have a good commentary on that because that seemed like such a strange line. But should be good to close this one out now, I think. Is getting that red zone where all the werewolves belong. Right, well, we got 2 units to their 0. And they draw Tovolar. Wow. Wow. Okay, my man. Wow, what does the flipped half of this thing do? Another wolf fights something. Insane. Enters the battlefield or attacks, create 2 wolves. Pay 4. Another wolf or werewolf you control fights a creature you don't. Okay, at least his fights are horrible. He can't attack with Tovolar here. He just can't attack. Okay. Okay, get him with our common. He doesn't say he actually can do stuff here. So he can fight. Now if we attack with everything, he can block one of our small units and then fight our other one down. So we gotta wait another turn. You weren't enough, Immolation. You were close, but you weren't enough. Okay. So we can't tell with what he's drawn, but if we pick up a creature that's not a 4 or a 5 attack, should be enough. Enchanted creature is a wolf or werewolf, untap it. We can't do that piece, but I still want to give the cavalry vigilance so that we can perhaps just block Tovolar next turn. You can still make these weird blocks to where he can he can kill off our 4/4 with both of his wolves, but all right. Sucks to lose that unit. I mean, we didn't lose it in the sense just because we attacked. Right, he could have killed off our unit anyways and prevented our coven from coming on. Oh my gosh, we're gonna lose this game, aren't we? Oh my gosh. Absurd. Actual absurd. Oh man, that's brutal. Tovolar coming in to take the steal. I mean, we could have bought more time. We could have blocked him last turn to keep him from making wolves here, but that doesn't feel like how you ever win the game. Maybe we should have taken that line in the sense that we were never going to pick up trample on our thing. I mean, that was probably our mistake, right? That's where we ended up losing that one. So we can't complain about our opponent too much. I think we threw that one away. We should have put our +2/+2 onto our 4/4. So then if he wants to fight down the 4/4, then both of his units are going to die. And then if he doesn't want to fight, then we still have 2 units at the end of the day. And so that would have probably been enough to carry it over. Oh, damn, that's brutal. I felt like we navigated that one perfectly up to that point and then just kind of punted it at the end. Just to be having like such a similar deck and get such a big advantage turning together and just have it fall like that. Brutal. That's what we get. That's why we're still here on Platinum. It's only my first week back at Magic. It's going to take me a while to get really back into the swing of things. We're still making a good climb. We have a good deck. We're going to have a serious run at 7 with this one. Just those are the kind of games that you have to be winning to that make the difference between, you know, making a 3-win deck that gets you 1,400 gems into the 4-win deck that gets you the +100, and then turning your your 6s into your 7s and such. You got to be winning the games like that. So when we inevitably have one where like we have to mulligan to 5 and lose, and then we have another one where we flood out, then we've made up for it in these other games that we have the chance to win. We'll get there. We'll get there. Been running into this as well. If we want something else to bitch about, it's like the cancel button goes away and it takes like a half hour for the match to start, and then it says it ends in a draw. Like, I figure Watsy's been at this long enough that this shouldn't be a thing. Right? I don't remember how long Magic, like I haven't played Magic Online in a while, but whenever I upload the video, I think it says that this was released in like 2018 or 2019. So they've had like 3 or 4 years of release under their belts, and then I think Magic Online, as opposed to Arena, is like still in beta. Like I think they take forever to actually push it as a release, uh, probably as a way to do shifty accounting. But I think this was probably in beta for multiple years. But we can't keep hands like this. We got to look for something a little better, and a little better we have found. And so I'm going to hang on to our powerful fours and our Arlinn and our Shadow Beast sighting. I want to definitely keep 3 land as well, because that keeps us really close to playing our powerful cards. It's just, do we want to keep the Wolf or the Infiltrator? And I think we can just get rid of the Infiltrator. It's not looking to be too powerful here. Like, the Wolf is better at just shutting down the early game combats anyways, being able to battle with 2/2s and survive. Can't block. Okay. Excuse me. So I'm going to try and get the takedown on the Harrier. We'll see. If they just come in with the Snarling Wolf, I think that's okay. If they want to attack with their Harrier and then be like, I want to play a big removal spell on you, then that's fine. But this effectively, you know, ends their ability to play cards this turn. Let's start with the Shadow Beast. I don't want to just run Arlinn out and have her die to a burn spell. I like to try and take control of this board at least a little bit. Okay, take the bait on whatever you're offering up here. Sure. Right. Let's see if they saved that burn spell. Not exactly looking like it. Good chance they just get the takedown next turn with this Harrier being here. I mean, they can make the Hauler unblockable. But I think that's fine. Oh.
Patience, my king.
Just be slamming the same unit into each other. That's fine, but ours will have +1/+1. I just wanted to make sure that this wasn't like a 7/6 or something. So he's gonna have to spend the mana to make something unblockable. Oh, its target creature can't block. Oh no, I thought that made something unblockable. Oh man, this is gonna be a blowout. I mean, he's got to know the shenanigans are coming in, but I read into that completely wrong. I thought that the wolf made him unblockable. All right, this game should be done. Rip. I was like, what is a dire stain? This is, it's when you've been picking at your butt a little bit too much. You get a dire stain in your undies. That brown streak in the old tighty whities. The dire stain. The hard hitting analysis people come here for. It's a poop joke. All right. What do we got on this one? Not a bad start. We'll go ahead and keep. I'm not really amped about starting with unnatural moonrises, but we got a removal spell and a 2 and then the high quality 4, so that should be enough to carry us for a bit. Okay. None of this feels worthy of an immolation. He's not gonna like sacrifice off his scab, so we'll just get the infiltrator down. Beautiful. No, not for opponent. He stalled on 2, but beautiful for us. Tempted to just like not try and yeah, I don't think I want to offer up the trade. I'm just going to skip here. We can just play the unnatural moonrise next turn. Whiff again. No, it's not a bad start, considering they didn't have a land to begin with. So let's see. Let's go ahead. We're going to run all of this out because then we can just play the unnatural moonrise again here in the future. But let's see. This gives a creature 1/0 and trample. Let's put it on the beast. And I'm looking to like immolate the Awakener. And then what I kind of envision happening here is he's going to come in and double block the beast to prevent the card draw and everything. But do we want to? Yeah, I think this is still fine. Go here. Take this dum-dum down. We're gonna attack with everything. He's gonna like want to block something with the occultist just to draw the card, and then we're gonna get the scab for the beast. I think this is fine. But he has to put the two zombies in front of our 5/4. Okay, I guess he doesn't have to. But I figured that was where this was going. Wow, why are you keeping the cultist around? It's not going to do anything. Interesting. Okay. All right, he's hit the land. He didn't mill it back with his self-mill card. Can't imagine what we'd be worried about here. Like the Death Touch zombie would be kind of awkward. I feel like they would have slammed it if they had a Death Touch zombie. And then coming through all this health is also kind of awkward. Okay. So I think we want to continue to attack. I think this is, if he's still looking to just use the zombie, this is probably the turn where he blocks with the occultist so he can re-mill himself. And so we won't have to worry about silver bolting, right? If he was going to block with both the scab and the larder zombie, we would want to save the silver bolt to protect our unit. But that's not the case here. Now we're free to add in the tireless hauler. I'm sure they'll have a spell here. Kind of doesn't exactly force them to have a spell. Like, if they have a bounce spell, though, they're more than happy just to, like, return our beast. This dude has had all the 2-drops. Dang, dude. If there was ever a deck that could handle the small amount of units, this one. Okay, well, Arlinn is interesting. We're good to just keep attacking with everything. Ah, okay. Do we... Alright, if we're gonna do it like this, then we don't want to attack, so we'll have 3 blockers for next turn. Alright, so now we can come in and make these wolves. And then next turn, if we want, we can do an unnatural moonrise and start attacking with her. These wolves are not good on this board, though. This dude has all the 2/3s. He can take her down if he wants to attack with everything, but the crackback is kind of scary. Yep. Was waiting on the bounce spell to happen.
The hunter becomes the hunted.
We never just lethal here, right? you gotta stop and make sure. I don't think we do. Locked in the cemetery, dang. Alright. Is this worth a silver bolt just to get in for 2 damage? I kinda like it, just he's got this tapper on the board as well. Not in any risk of him just like dropping flyers on us. Okay. What did he exile that wasn't our Shadow Beast sighting? Huh. That had to have been a mistake. What did he even take out? Arlinn. Oh, it took out the unnatural Moonrise. Okay. I can see the argument for some of that. But we got a lot of big draws here. Tovolar would of course be sick. The Cavalry's at least big enough to be relevant. Shadow Beast sighting would be good. Defend the Celestius gives us a bunch of like really pretty attacks that he's not going to see. Hound Tamer putting the +1/+1s out here. Like we got a bunch of good draws. It's down to having one card. Now down to 0. So yeah, we're gonna have to pick up something. We can't attack with our 4/4 into his like mountain of 2/3s. So he's gonna have to wait until something interesting shows up. He does have the advantage on us here, being able to tap a bunch of stuff, but I don't think that gives him any like promising attacks. We gonna regret immolating the Transformer thing instead of the Scab Wrangler? It's starting to look scary. We don't have any other interactive things for his units. This dude might have turned the corner on this one. Not feeling real confident in being able to overwhelm this board. Since we're only gonna, at this rate, we're only gonna be able to use like our worst attackers. And even if we say like Howl of the Hunt, our Dire Strain Brawler or something, it's gonna be able to retap it with the Scab. This is not looking good. I know, bud. Come on, we're scared. I don't see how we win this one anymore. Like we can't really beat this Scab Wrangler unless we draw Tovolar. He's our answer, being able to come in and fight all their stuff. He's our only interactive card at this point. All right, Tovolar. Well, you came down and aced us in one game, so if you could come out and help us instead, that would be nice. It would be nice. Help us out, bud. Oh, that's not a help. This is gonna take forever. If I was just playing ladder, I would concede this game. We can't do so here. All right, we'll settle in. You put a marker on the YouTube that says you can skip the video from here. Sure. That's gonna be enough to end it for us. We'll give it a go. We got a turn or two to draw Tovolar. Alright, making all the big decisions. There we go. Alright, well. Let's just assume that one's done at that point. Damn. I don't. I didn't anticipate that tapper was going to be so relevant. Like that was a legitimate target for our immolation from early. It just felt like the way that game was pacing out, we would have had a bit of a trouble with our opponent just putting a 4/4 on the board. Man, if there was ever a deck that can survive on 2 mana, that dude's was certainly it. His mana stall put in the work. Alrighty, not a bad curve. See if we can't roll through the 2 lost department here and make our way to the final battle. Alright, well here comes the squad. Pestilent Wolf doing his thing. How do we feel about not playing cards this turn? I think this is fine. Let's attack with the wolf. If it trades with the flyer, I think that's okay. He'll get a zombie out of it, but whatever. And now we can just take the flip. Should be reasonably tough for them to double spell at this point. Okay. All right, keep bringing the big boys. Seems good. Seems strong. I mean, they're not going to stop us from hitting our nightfalls or staying nightfall, and then Tovolar will come down next turn. Sure. It's probably a little too greedy to attack with everything, though. Does that natural moonrise change anything? Probably not. These 2 are still good attacks. If he wants to trade his Boneclaw Marauder for our Pestilent Wolf, that's okay. But I assume he's just got to come in and block our 4/4. Yep. Alright, all the puppies coming out here. Feels good. I feel like I finally kind of realized that every unit in the game doesn't have flash. And every unit in the game doesn't have haste. So it's taken me a while to get that out of my head. I think we're good here. We can remove both of his units before we attack. Oh, goodness. This one, no, it's auto passing for him, so this will be done. Target a wolf you control, creature you don't. And get him. Yeah, we won a game. We won a game. We did it, guys. Jeez. It's been some brutal losses we had to suffer through. But we won one. Our spirits are up. everything feels better with a win. Go. So what do we got? Got a 3 and a 4, but no early plays. But we're on the play. Sure, let's give it a try. Nothing. No rush 15, playing it fair with us. And I think Hound Tamer should be good. The thing that we run into with these is we're not gonna plan on putting a counter on it next turn, but it's just so hard for our opponents to interact with this thing. Right, say they play a 3-3 here, we can attack with the Hound Tamer, they just can't block, because we can just trade out with their unit. Oh, it's X+1. Alright, well that's a little sad. Making me a little sad with that happening, and you can... Oh, this takes the loyalty off your Planeswalkers, though. Okay. We'll take the 2-for-1 if we'll take it. I think we're racing better than them. This feels really bad if they just have a combat trick ever. So let's just take this. We're getting really close to just having the huge board, whether or not that's drawing a land and adding Tovolar, or playing the unnatural Moonrise. Dude certainly filled out the board. And we can't attack. Our 4-4 going into a 2-3, 2-2 is just too bad. So let's just get all the wolves. I can add a bunch of dudes to the board too. Oh man, he's got dudes to add to the board too. What does this thing do? 3-3 flying double strike. You have hexproof. If your life total would be reduced to 0, flip it. We're not going to let that happen. So, okay, so we can flip our Tovolar here and then just take down this angel at some point. I think that's the way we'll want to go about this. Let's put the unnatural Moonrise on our dude. This is going to be the one he's looking to take down. Then if he tries to get like too weird with his blocks onto Tovolar, we can take down one of the blockers with the Assailant, doing the fight thing. Otherwise, we're planning on just taking down this Enduring Angel. So if your life total be reduced to 0 or less, instead transform, and your life total becomes 3. Then it flips because you didn't cheat. Tax, double your life. Okay. And then he can't just not block here and count on the angel since we can kill it with a fight. Alright, use up all them Tom Banks. Alright, so our Tovolar's gonna survive this one. Whoa, he's gonna take... I did not realize we could do this. How much is this? 8, 12, 13, 14? It's too short. I think we still want to take down the angel. Then we'll... Okay, let's let combat happen. Okay. So we could have saved a wolf there, but... Alright, we could have done that in the middle of combat. Probably would have been the better way to go about it, but... I think this is fine. I don't think we can ever die here. Too many blockers. Got him. Nice. Right. No need to take notes. Appreciate it, wizards. I've been sitting around with my pen and paper, writing card names down. That was always annoying to have to do in paper. Alright, so that's an awkward one. I think we'll mulligan this. This hand isn't good even if things go right. Like if we just immediately draw a mountain, this hand is still no good. So we'll mulligan that one away. This one's got kind of the similar problems, but it at least has a removal spell in it. So forest can go. Let's see, it's not good by any means, but this isn't the kind of hand I would feel comfortable just going to 5 with. Maybe we should do that more frequently. They have that thing in place that keeps you from... it tries to put the better mix of spells and stuff into your hand, so you don't ever just like draw hands with 0 lands on them. Alright, well this isn't feeling that good. Ooh, had to sneeze. We're okay. We'll make the block onto Snarling Wolf. If they want to spend some mana on pumping it and then play another card later to trade out with our Bird Admirer, that's okay. Sure. The Bird Admirer, I think the Infiltrator is a reasonable enough target for Immolation. Not too many units you can just pop with the Immolation in the Werewolves deck. I think this is okay. It'll be on the same plan. If they want to pump and then spend another burn spell to take down our Bird Admirer, I'm okay with it. Yep. Alright, well, I mean, for being on a mulligan, we've recovered nicely. We've got the big boy on board compared to our opponent. Got the removal spell for something here. His blocks aren't going to be good on this. The problem here is we can't stop... we don't have a spell, so we can't stop it from going to Nightfall, which is a little scary against an opposing Werewolves deck. Gotta be kidding me. Okay, well, we have to kill Tovolar. Brutal. It's just like the haste creatures was the only thing that would be like really painful here. So for him to have a haste creature like that, it's a real problem. Let's give this a turn. Should be enough to kind of like start shutting down his attacks. And if we can just keep taking advantage of the untamed pup here. Hopefully that's strong enough. Oh my gosh, you're gonna have the Cathartic Fire. Oh, the have-it-alls? Is that what we're encountering today? Come on, man, we had to mulligan. You can't have it all. Okay. So my thought here is to say, like, put the Timberland Guide onto the Untamed Pup, and then attack with the Candlelit Cavalry. It's going to give us our Coven, and then we still have, like, reasonable blocking here. Targets? Hits it for 3, so he's just going to have a second Moonrager Slash. Thought something was up, but... Alright, well we can't outrace here. Seemed like when we started putting down the tokens on his turn that he had a removal spell. I thought we might have gotten around it, but... Oof. Okay. That's pretty close to lethal. Yeah. What do you do? When you cast an instant or sorcery, it gets 2/2 instead of 1/1. Okay. So how many fights do we have? We only have one fight, and we have to pick a werewolf. Okay, I think I just want to attack with the cavalry here. I don't feel like we're in a big hurry. It would be nice to generate the wolves, but I don't want to lose our unit here. Then we could just do stuff like, you know, we can't combat these things well, but we can maybe fight one down on his turn. Okay. Cool. Ooh. Turns out you're a good card, Tovolar. Turns out. Where are we at? The 1400 gems? We're at least recovering this one into a positive one. All right. We need it. Hydrate here. What do we got? So we're on the draw. We have 3 3s. I think this is a fine keep. Oh, the title. I thought we had 2 bird admirers, not bird admirer or titleless hunter, but I think the same thing applies. I think this is fine. Cat's back there doing some annoying shit. I don't know what it is. Okay, there's the damage. Sure. So do they ever block? I think we're fine even if they do block. Just counting on doing 1 damage here, but if we get the free trade into Larder Zombie or something, I think that's good. Interesting. Must be hurting for land. Is that what's happening? He's cycled away a Cathar Commando. I guess it's not that spectacular here, at any rate, but seems to be the case. So let's get our Bird Admirer down now. Again, reasonable chance that he doesn't have a play on his turn. If he's stalled at 3. And if we go to Nightfall with the Bird Admirer, that's quite good. Doing the digging. Free draw digging. Oh, that was on our turn. I thought he did that on his turn. Sure. Uh-oh. Passing out double strikes? How much do we even care? Take 4. Or we can just actually get the trade. I think we're fine to just get the trade. I mean, he's only got 1 card. The only downside to taking the trade here is if his last card is like a big flyer. And then we don't have an answer to it. But I think this is okay. And as the problems continue, we're gonna have to deal with this double striking Dualcraft Trainer. And so I think I want to get just dudes on board. Like I don't think we're gonna want to throw like a Timberland Guide in front of it this turn, but I kind of want the option. Or do we just add the Tireless Hauler? This is like so bad if he has a bounce spell or removal spell. Let's give it a turn. Right, we can add the Infiltrator. Stop, bud. Stop. Gotta discipline some kitties and then bring it back. No, the idea here is we can block this Dualcraft Trainer with the Timberland Guide if we need to prevent the damage, and then if he spreads First Strike over to, say, like one of these smaller units, then we have the opportunity to just take them down with the Infiltrator. But okay, I mean, this is worrisome. We don't have a great answer to this Dualcraft Trainer. It's like I'm kind of okay with just falling to 10. The problems fall when if he adds a flyer to the board. So I think we want to prevent so we don't just get like lethaled in a single attack by a flying unit. I think this is just a repeat of the previous turn. So the downside here is, I mean, he's got good blockers forever, at least as far as like the Beloved Beggar is concerned. But we have to attack. We're never going to be able to answer this Dualcraft Trainer because we don't have any. We don't have any interaction. Really thinking about blocking with the Gale Drifter? I saw him like highlight the Gale Drifter for a hot second, and thought he was considering it. Okay, and he cycles off a land. Interesting. So we should like just never have to worry about Beloved Beggar. It doesn't appear to be a problem anymore. Surprised he didn't attack with the Trainer as the first strike, and it's probably never blocking. Okay, and then he has no spells, so we don't have to worry about playing in a natural Moonrise this turn. I'd like to see the Untamed Pup not die, right? But the only way it dies is if he risks his Dualcraft Trainer, and I don't think he's allowed to do that. So let's go ahead and get our attack in. Right, we kind of want to keep the pup around since it gives us a way to trample Like this one already has trample, but the Tireless Hauler doesn't have trample. So he cycled off a plane, so unless he has another one in hand, he can't get this Beloved Beggar on board. Okay. So we'll hit him for 6, take him to 6. And we will have a blocker for the Dualcraft Tainter next turn if he wants to attack with it, because we're gonna play the Hauler here. Okay. Got rid of a 2/2 flyer. Alrighty, we'll see where that one gets us. So if he wants to double up on his trainer, we can block it with a Timberland Guide. If he gives the Gale Drifter flying, then we're threatening 16 trampled now. He only has 6 health, so we'd be trampling for 10. So that seems good as well. I would think from his perspective, he either wants to get the Beloved Beggar on the board, which we beat, or he wants to play 2 spells to get our flip back. So all of our werewolves go back to human form, but he doesn't know we have Unnatural Moonrise in our hand. So I think we're in a pretty good space here. As long as he doesn't have like a +2/+2 combat trick for this thing. Okay. As we like to say, how about you spend all your mana on something irrelevant? Okay, so let's double check. He's got 3, 6, 9 health. We have 16. So we need to +1 damage here. Put 1 on you. I guess we could have done it with the Untamed Pup. Did we do it? Was that enough? I kind of spaced out and missed on the math here, but that was 6, 10, 17. He should have 9 M blockers. So we should get in for 8. We didn't even need to do this +1, did we? 9 + 8, 17. I did that math all by myself. Okay. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. I don't think he realizes everything has trample. Maybe he did. All right, we did it. Yay. Phew, the game has been won. All right. On to the 5-win round. It weirds me out how they just highlight the rounds that you've won. Like, after playing Runeterra for so long, they highlight the round that you're currently on. I think. That was the way it worked. No, maybe they didn't. I don't know. That just looks weird on here. There's some more of that hard-hitting analysis. It looks weird to me. Alrighty, what do we got here? This looks like a keeper. A reasonable curve. Some bird admiration happening. First time we've seen our first sighting of Shadow Beast sighting in like 4 games. It's good to me. No blocks. Damage. All the aggro's coming at you. Makes me seeing plays like that makes me wish we just hadn't attacked. I wonder, like, if they want to play the party captain, then they have to they have to lose their Candlegrove Witch. I mean, granted, they're very likely to just have another unit in their hand that isn't the party captain, but oh boy. Well, +2/+2 here is pretty bad for us. So let's just take it. Shouldn't be as bad now. Okay, we can start dealing with this next turn. At least threatening to deal with it. Okay. Those are annoying. And this is a sorcery, right? Okay, I had to stop and make sure we weren't just wasting this thing. But I think this is okay. We're going to have to throw some stats in front of these Pestilent Wolves, but once we get Tovolar online, hopefully the amount of 2/2s we generate from Tovolar are just better than our opponent's 2/2s. And if we just trade, like if he death touches everything, it's just quite good for us. Interesting. You got a big one too. I think this is fine. I mean, we can Timberland Guide a Wing Shredder, and then use our Tovolar ability onto Sigarda. That's where I think we want to be taking this. Let's do this. Timberland Guide. Gonna boost the Wing Shredder. Attack. Oh, combat. Attack. Attack. Are you? Pick you. Take this down. Excellent. Alrighty. Alrighty. We ranked up to Plat 1, made our way into the final battle. Let's see. Let's see. Tovolar can carry us one more. Carry our weight on your shoulders, my wolf man. Alright, alright. Hydrate a little bit and get prepared. So what do we got here? Reasonable enough. Feel a little bit better about this if we are on the play, since we're not really dropping anything of substance until the 4th turn. But got a lot of raw power in here. Block. Oh, not block. Never mind. JK, not blocking. If he's ever just like flash that right back and make the 6. Nope. Be cool if you did. Alright, this gives trample, so that's kind of like my worry in adding Arlinn to the board here. But I don't feel like we have a whole lot of choice. I think we just have to play her for the wolves, and then you know, hope we get good blocks on this stuff otherwise. But right, he's probably gonna be playing his spell, making something huge and slamming everything into Arlinn. Hopefully we can kind of just like pick and choose the blocks since we don't need to have everything go right there. Right, if he wants to say like level up the Harrier, then we just trade a 2/2 for his 2/5 and a 2/2 for his 3/3. It's not the end of the world. Just this, though. You have first strike? Oh, it has indestructible. Okay. Alright, well, this is slightly awkward. I'm not real amped about the day flip here. So let's just add the Infiltrator. And we'll eventually get a really good Defend the Celestius, I think. I think. Yeah, more stats than them across the board. That's the way it should pan out, right? They have to make like a big attack with their 6/6 or something, and then we just get to put the counters out favorably. One, two, or three targets. Okay, so we can put all the counters on the same unit if we want to. Alright, I'm sending one in. I'm sending two in. What are you... why are you the way that you are, game? One, two... Oh, we can't give everything... You can't put +2 onto something. Okay. Gotcha. Oh, no you can't. Cancel. I just didn't understand how the card worked. Okay. This one. This one. Submit 2. 2 and 1. Okay. That's pretty good. The only downside is these things aren't wolves. Alright. You'll flip eventually. It's like you look at this board and it's like, man, should we just attack with everything? And it's like, well, they got 32 health. We got we got some work to do. Need an overwhelm. Overrun. That's what we need. Overrun. The +3/+3 trampled everything. Alright, well, I'm going to keep bringing our 6/6s. Oh no, I didn't realize this thing became a 7/7. Oh, he put his bonus on the... Fuck. We should have just attacked with everything at that point. Oops. I was like, I thought that the daybreak happened, and I was like, why isn't the counter on your Cavalier? It's like, oh, well, I guess that makes a little bit of sense. Can he swing us back and kill us 10, 15? Doesn't seem to be the case. So I think we're good to attack with everything that isn't our 2/2s now. Now that we picked up Immolation. He can make some like double blocks to protect some of his units here, but we get to take down the big important ones. Okay, he is gonna get to start playing cards though. This isn't like a werewolf, right? So we don't have a way to flip this. Remove a counter, exile your top card, you can play it. So we can give it +2. We're gonna have to deal with that eventually. Would we want to just go ahead and deal with it now? So if he wants to take down our bigger units, it's going to take a little bit more effort. I think I like this. So now if he wants to take down our 4/4s, it's going to take his Embodiment of Flame to do it. Yep. Be surprised to see him just go to 10. Wouldn't be surprised if they're in the same spot as us, where the last card in their hand is a land. Okay, we're getting aggressive, huh? A little bit less so. Same spot. No reason to attack with the little wolf. The rest of our attacks are good here. So we'll take him to 6. No. Oh, that's brutal. Oh, what a good draw. Shit. Because he's going to get an additional card out of that as well. Getting like 3 for 1 off of the thing. Alright. So he'll get to bring back his 2/1 flyer. So it's going to be a guaranteed spell. Okay, and then I think we just have to like count on them to be the one to flip it to Nightfall for us. So we're going to play the Tireless Hauler here. This is to 6. Coming in with everybody. Are you kidding me? What a collection of draws. Just the perfect combat tricks at the perfect times. Alright. Alright, guy. So we have to attack. This should get him to block with his Soul Griff Guide, though. Oh, no, he's going to... Oh, he does bring in both. Okay. The Nightfall is guaranteed to hang out here for a while, so this Wing Shredder should give him some fits. What ridiculous combat trick do you have for us today? Okay, okay. We're wider than them now. Alright, the battle's off at the top. Have we managed to do it? Did he draw 2 land in a row? Oh, maybe. Maybe. Whoop whoop, there it is. Nice. Glad to take that one the whole way. Looking good. You gotta do that though when you have these decks come together with the good rares. You gotta push those as far as you can. And so I was glad that we got there. I was getting a little worried about it because I think the kind of the big takeaway in that one is we misplayed hard in one of those early games and just let one of them drop. Like, what's it take to get here, right? To get 6 wins with 2 losses is a 75% win rate. That's not super sustainable. And so, when your good decks, it is. And with your good decks, you can't just be throwing games away like that, where we did with the. I forget what the play was at this point, but we definitely played poorly in one of those, and you have to kind of hope your losses just come from your low rolls, and you played good the whole way out. But hey, not bad. I was glad to take this one the whole way. Let's take a moment and we'll get this this deck pulled up on the untapped.gg. And so let's see. Let's get this one. Got to switch it to limited, and then it should appear. Boom, there it is. So you can look past those 40% win raters that were hanging out there, and we'll come across the final battle here. And so, yeah, I mean, as far as the deck goes, in and of itself, we were just lacking interactivity. And so, more ideally, you're going to have more removal spells than just like Immolation and Silverbolt. If you're out here playing Werewolves, you've hopefully been able to pick up the Lightning Bolt kind of card, because they aren't that hard to find. There's a bunch of red removal. It's not that tough to come across. But where it was awkward for us was where we just started so heavily in green. I think we only saw one like duel of the Defiant throughout the draft, and that would be kind of your go-to removal spell at the common space, having the fight or crossbow shot or whatever it's called at uncommon. And so those just didn't show up, and we would typically count on our red to fill in for us, but we were so interested in being in this blue-green deck for so long that it was kind of weird that it came together like this. But to at least, kind of recap the beginning of this draft again, the Huntmaster was fine. That's a slam. I still stand by taking a ultra-powerful card like Tovolar the Huntmaster as opposed to the best removal in the set, Infernal Grasp. Just, again, it's very easy to pick up these removal spells in black, to where having these big bruiser game winners not as easy to find. So thought that was good. Here in Pack 2, we talked extensively about Winterhorn Blessing and our hopes for it to come back, and it did not. So kind of the same thing. We took the Gavany Dawnguard over the Candle Trap because this is just one of the more premier style units, in the sense that this can come out and draw some cards and get you some card advantage. Candle Trap is something that I've had like four Candle Traps in a draft and passed on more. Like, if you really want Candle Traps, you tend to be able to find them. And so as our start with green, again, the Winterthorn Blessing, something we want to have come back to us. The Bounding Wolf, not good enough, so we went with the Dawnguard. In pick 3, we're continuing on with the idea that we're going to be a green-white kind of Coveney deck. Candlegrove Witch is fine. It feels safer to take a Candlegrove Witch than a Soul Griff Guide, just because these are a little bit more expensive. At the end of the day, if we're going to have 3 of one card and 1 of the other, I want 3 Witches and 1 Griff Guide, and so I would prefer to take the Witch at the start here. And moving on, this was our pack of issue. This one got some bitches since it just kind of picked up the Nebelgeist Intruder for us as we were talking. Again, like I'm not completely sure who we wanted. I think here we would have wanted to pick up the Candlelit Cavalry. It's not like really defined that we're going to play green white since the Dawn Guard and the Candlegrove Witch are kind of weak, but it is defined that we're going to go extremely out of our way to be playing green. And so here, I think the pick in question came down to, do you want the Cavalry or the Eccentric Farmer? And again, kind of the issues we run into is we're expecting that blue-green card to come back. We're expecting the Winterthorn Blessing to come back, so we want to be drafting blue-green. But we're already stacked up on these white cards. So if we're going to take the white cards, we want the Candlegrove Witch. But if we're going to be drafting towards the Simic self-mill kind of deck, then we want the Eccentric Farmer. And so that's what I was trying to talk about and get around to. But the thing just auto-picked for us and we couldn't find it. If we were going to take a blue card, I would want the Organ Hoarder. But I think the pick here would have actually been the Candlelit Cavalry. And so then, we find our Shadow Beast sighting. Again, I still think this is just the best green common in the set. Always happy to pick these up. It's been phenomenal throughout the entirety of the trial. And then here was where the magic started to happen. Like, right, we aren't really passing on much. The Bereaved Survivor is fine. The Pestilent Wolf is fine, but this Root Coil Creeper is a monster, right? We still have this idea in our head that Winter Grasp thing is going to come back, and then we mentioned that the Creeper plays fantastically with the Shadow Beast sighting, and so I was really happy to just go in on the Root Coil Creeper. Gives our deck some real direction, and then just an easy green card in the next pack. We could have taken Candle Trap, but again, we weren't really decided now if we're even going to play white. If the blue green appears to be open, and then this Root Coil it really sent us on a trip, and so. But this is where the draft kind of got off the rails because we can skip the rest of the way. The only thing to note here was at pack 10, right? We would have been at pick 2 where the blessing was. Pick 10, the blue-green card didn't table, and then pack 2, we got the Planeswalker. And so kind of struggled from that point forward, right? Because we could be the blue-green deck since it's so easy to, ramp into Arlinn if we're playing the Root Coil Creeper. But then as the draft progressed, it looked like we were going to have to make a hard decision between either playing Simic or playing Werewolves, and we just didn't have the Simic built around cards, right? We were looking for, if we're looking at Simic, I'm looking for this collection of Death Bonnet Mushroom, whatever that 1/1 is that mills cards off your deck. We're looking for as many Root Coil Creepers as we can find, and then we're looking for the what do you call the 4-cost spell, the Shadow Beast sighting. Like that's the real core of the deck, and then you can kind of fill in with like the mulch 3-drop and such. But we didn't have enough of this to really be in blue green. We just had the creepers and the single Shadow Beast sighting. So I think it turned out reasonable to kind of start switching over into red. If we the place I'm starting to struggle these days is like finding the point to say we're like, okay, this is it. This is exactly what we're doing, and it's still rough there, right? It still feels like we can be like blue-green splash the Planeswalker, but like as these packs progress, we would much rather have this Cathartic Pyre here. Here's another Cathartic Pyre that we just passed on for Bird Admirer because we weren't quite willing to accept that we were going to be a green-red deck. And then, just continuing forward, we would have things like Village Watch. Still haven't quite accepted it. Picking a Dissipate here over a Lambolt Harrier. Like, we could just have the nuts green-red deck, but I haven't been able to, flip the switch and say, okay, well, what specific card do I need to see at what point to say, okay, well, this is the way life is now. This is what we're doing. And so we did let quite a bit of raw power pass by us here. Again, Pyre, Village Watch, Lambolt Harrier, and those were all taken. Like we still ended up playing like the Bird Watchers or whatever, but we took a lot of pack 2 that we just ended up not playing, which was kind of a bit of a struggle. And so we're only into it for a week. I mean, I guess we've only been playing Innistrad Limited as much as anyone else has, but it's still a bit of a conversion for me to be in draft mode as opposed to expedition mode. The big thing in that concern for my my Runeterra folks that hung onto the Switch is you have to play every card you draft in Runeterra. So there's like this real necessity to define what you're doing extremely early, and then also avoid extremely bad cards. And that doesn't exist quite as much in Magic, as to where you can kind of take some floaters. You can take some speculative picks and see how they play out, and then you aren't punished for it later. And so it's not like you're like, well, I have a Sumpworks posse and a counterfeit copies that are just complete dead cards in my deck now. Those just get moved out to your sideboard. And so, with things being a little bit more flexible in Magic, it's taken me, a bit of time to get back into the proper mindset of being a bit more flexible and then picking and choosing where that flexibility needs to stop. So it's all for learning. Learning's always fun and good. Everyone likes a nice learning experience, and so glad to be doing it, and glad y'all are along for the ride. So we do have a handful of packs to click on here. Looks like we got 12. Let's see if we can look at these without having the cards all disappear. Curious if we can amp up our constructed collection a little bit. Again, I've been playing a bit of Boros Humans in Constructed in Standard. I like it. I plan on putting together a video on it soon. I haven't quite decided at the point as to where I say that like this is too budgety as compared to being like this is something kind of competitive. But I like where it's going, and I like the direction it's going in. And so things like Adeline, I have copies of. I haven't been playing in that deck, but that's something I look to have coming on here in the future. And then otherwise, not anything too big here. We can't wait. We'll get some primal adversaries and limited at some point. And these Briar Bridge trackers are quite good and limited as well. But interesting stuff. It's just like I want to see all of the lands open up. Just give us those lands. What do we got? Old stick fingers. One more to go. What do we got? Hallowed Respite, not a land. But cool, that was a fun one. I hope you all enjoyed that. And so I hope you enjoyed in the Nightfall, a little bit better. You maybe learned a thing or two along the way and had a good time watching. This is Bust, and we thank you for being here.